Welcome to Session 06. Today we move from design into real UI automation. You will initialize a Playwright project, write your first test with 2 intentional assertions, pick locators that survive redesigns, debug failures by category instead of luck, and use AI as a reviewer that never owns the test for you. The through line is simple: understand every line, own every assertion, and never let AI fix a test just to make it pass. Start in a clean lab directory. Run npm init playwright at latest. The scaffold asks for a language. Choose TypeScript unless you already have a constraint. Then run npx playwright test to confirm the runner works, and npx playwright show report to open the HTML report. The exact flags may change with the playwright version, so if the CLI looks different, check the official docs. The point of the scaffold is not the commands themselves, it is that the runner, fixtures, parallel workers, and report all arrive together, and the suite shape stays consistent across the team. Here is the first real test. It navigates to the login page, fills the email and password through getByLabel, and clicks the sign-in button through getByRole. Then it makes 2 assertions: the URL matches dashboard, and the overview heading is visible. 2 assertions prove both the navigation and the content. Do not pile on random assertions. Keep only the ones that reflect the requirement. Extra noise makes the next failure harder to diagnose. Playwright auto-waits. Before it clicks or fills, it waits for the element to be ready for interaction, attached, visible, enabled, and stable. That is why a hard-coded sleep is almost never the right fix. Semantic locators are the second half of the story. Prefer getByRole, getByLabel, getByPlaceholder, getByText, and only then getByTestID. Reject the long CSS selectors AI sometimes pulls from a DOM snapshot. Those selectors describe structure, not meaning, so the next redesign breaks them. Semantic locators describe what the user sees, so they survive a restyle. The priority chain is deliberate. Role first, the accessible name the screen reader uses. Label second, the form field the user is looking at. Placeholder third. Visible text fourth. And test ID last, the one you control when the page has no accessible name. The chain is a hierarchy of durability. Every step down is more brittle. If you start at the bottom with a CSS path, you own every future redesign as a test failure. The negative case is just as important as the happy path. A wrong password must show a safe generic error, not user not found, and not a stack trace. The test fills the email and the wrong password, clicks sign in, asserts the alert text, and asserts the URL is still login. Never hardcode real credentials. Use environment variables or system-issued test accounts. A real credential in a test is a security incident waiting to be committed. When a test fails, classify before you fix. 5 categories. First, product defect, the application is wrong. Second, test defect, the locator, assertion, or logic is wrong. Third, data or environment, the account is missing or the server is down. Fourth, timing or flaky, something races. Fifth, requirement misread, the test asserts the wrong intent. Never ask AI to fix until pass. Give it the expected behavior, the minimal code, and the sanitized log, and demand a hypothesis plus a way to verify it. A green test that was fixed by AI is a green test you do not own. Here is the code review prompt. Tell the model to review the Playwright test against the attached specification. Check 4 things. Does every assertion prove a requirement? Are the locators semantic? Is the test independent of other tests? And does it contain any hard wait, secret, or flakiness pattern? The critical line: do not change the code. Return the issues, the evidence, the risk level, and the minimal fix. AI reviews. You decide. You apply. You own. The practice exercise ships 5 tests on a legal demo app: valid login, wrong password, required field, logout, and 1 boundary. Run each test alone, then run the suite. Intentionally break one locator, capture the trace and screenshot, and diagnose the failure by category. Ask AI for a review, and only apply the proposals you can prove. The deliverable is 5 green UI tests, the HTML report, and a debug log of that intentional break. Session 06 gave you the Playwright scaffold, the first test with 2 intentional assertions, the locator priority chain, the negative password case without real credentials, the 5 failure categories, and the review prompt that keeps AI as a reviewer, not an owner. Session 07 layers in API testing and test data, fixtures, factories, and the boundary between unit, API, and UI that keeps the pyramid honest.